Dustin, Kenda.
Pushing boundaries, performing
Link
under
ECU!
pressure, and having the
It
best
was all a
people on
dream.
your
I
team.
used to read Word Up magazine.
Our tech support
Salt
are
and
performance
pepper and heavy
specialists,
tea up in the
available
limousine.
24 hours
Hanging
and ready
pictures
to
on my
talk
wall.
one-on-one about your winning
I
formula.
am one of the best.
Link ECU, the performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
Oh, man. Now we are back. We're getting everything situated. And we're getting the track set up. The drivers are getting set up here. The line is being finished up right now.
So I got some news for you. I don't
that?
know if you've noticed yet, but we are actually painting a yellow line now because the camo white has been hiding from the drivers. As there is smoke and white is, you know, smoke, white, that kind of stuff. It's really hard to see a white line, so we are painting down a yellow line on the back section.
Okay.
We are able to use paint on the non-racing surfaces of Sebring. So just something that a lot of people don't really understand. The reason that we have to use flour is because we're renting this space. This is Sebring International Raceway, an institution. I mean, an old bombing field or, you know, takeoff spot for bombers during the World Wars. So, I mean, wild stuff.
That's
stuff.
Crazy. Just thinking of about like a big bomber. Just I don't know if you ever seen
Hundreds
one
of them.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen them in person. They're huge.
Yes.
Huge C-130s and B-15s and they're awesome. Awesome machines. Well, we also have a airfield in the back. We're seeing some people fly and take off and land. Right now, we have some of the drivers. The judges are coming back up in the booth. We have Bunny, our media guy. He's a very big impact with the photos in US Drift Circuit. I love it. We also have FLYDAYs getting set up. FLYDAY's FPV, our drone pilot, they're doing some test runs and flyouts. Man, drones have been insane in drifting and how not only in competition but like the freestyle that they do.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's so cool.
When I talk about something cool, right, and we talk about fringe and we talk about action sports, they always go together. You know, when paintball was growing up, skateboarding, all those stuff, all those people end up hanging out together, you know, being tight. FPV drones coming on the scene and being affordable. You know, or being that like expensive sport that it is, just like drifting. It is, you can get into it, but then it's like that next level is a huge jump most of the time. You know, but a lot of cool media comes out of it. They think it's exciting. It's fun to be around. It works for the time on their batteries. They're able to go get runs, but how it's been used in competition, it's a game changer.
It definitely
It is no longer one point of view. You're now getting to see the overview with the angle of the car to see if that proximity was there. Where did they line up? And they can go back to back and look at an old view and be like, oh, their last run, though, look how different they are.
Yep.
You know, and we're getting to see what the fans have always been able to see from stationary cameras all over, but now the judges are getting to be a part of it and be able to use it as a tool.
Yeah, and now we have even monitors set up for us, so we're actually seeing exactly what you guys see. You see our smiling faces, Dustin with the bougie pit vipers.
Bougie pit vipers.
Those are bougie pit vipers, man. Compared to the previous pit vipers, I like them. I'm not saying they're bad.
They sent me these. I'm pretty excited. I like these a lot. Adds to the style. I think they match the shorts. You know, board shorts 24/7. I'm wearing flip flops up here because nobody told me how to wear closed-toed shoes. You know, so I'm gonna keep rocking these.
Well, we'll talk about our sponsor a little bit. Autosports Engineering. They do provide a great asset for the drifters out here with the parts that they have. You go on their website.
Where are they?
They're right
Autosports
there.
Engineering.
They give.
I feel like Dana White or whatever her name is.
Havana White.
Yeah, whatever. I said
White.
Dana White. UFC.
But Autosports Engineering, great company. They have been supporting us this whole season. I want to thank them very much. You check them out on their website. They have a lot of parts for if you're building a drift car.
Wild.
It's insane. And then you got Drift HQ.
Their website's phenomenal too.
Dude,
Just
it's
saying.
so easy. It's so easy to
It
drift.
works.
It's
wild. A website that works, that sells parts.
we have Drift HQ as well as a title sponsor. A lot of people in the drift community know who they are, and they actually came out with a new little like side gig. Well, actually not a side gig, a new business for the sim world where I came from, Sim HQ. So that's pretty cool to see that they're diving into it. You could go onto Sim HQ and actually drive the LZ compound. I was able to go right before round 2. I actually went with the ACS guys, and we checked out the LZ compound. We made a layout for them, the actual whole compound. There's Easter eggs on there. Check them out. Taxi Garage being another sponsor. You always see them with their viral videos, with their crazy carts. You'll see some of our crew out here in the
crazy carts. It makes everything way easier. And I mean, we might have had somebody decide to go venture off into, you know, some woods or something during Drift Appalachia. I don't know what happened.
Oh, let's talk about that. One of our drivers, Nick Ward. He likes Nick Ward and Ryan Kaufman. Ryan Kaufman is our king right now.
Yep,
And
points leader.
All he has to do is cross the line, pretty much, from my understanding, from what they were discussing earlier. But
we'll leave it in the imagination.
Yeah,
a little bit of imagination.
But we have the Nick Ward. He had a spill on Drift Appalachia.
Yep.
Destroyed the whole back end, basically, from what I saw. Were you able to talk to him a little bit about that whole thing?
Yeah, talk to him a little bit. We were actually talking about applications to Drift Appalachia and trying to drive it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're not getting a whole track. You make a little mistake, that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah.
He stayed in the throttle the whole time. The video is hilarious. But I mean, he literally just tossed it back together and said, "Yeah, I'll just send it. Whatever, it's fine."
It's great to see these guys. We'll talk a little bit about the drivers too today. We have another driver out here, Ryan Acevedo. From my understanding, he's not using the same 350 that he was. Well, he was using a BMW last round.
So the whole story, and I don't know if anybody got to see it on the YouTube, but we did a video. We got to catch up with him. He took his car out before crossing the line for practice. Officially, he blew his motor up. Now, that was a motor that's been around for 3 seasons, phenomenally built, been working its butt off, done Fuel Fest, done U.S. Drift Circuit rounds, like all kinds of crazy stuff, traveled a lot. That was a good car. That was the one that him and Papa Acevedo built in the garage. Okay, so that is the original car. He purchased a Z that had modifications to it. First event out with it, I think, after he bought it was Fuel Fest this year. I actually got to compete against him in that car. So that was a fun time. But yeah, not just pretty face. You know, I sort of drive sometimes. But no, so his car is coming together. But so he actually borrowed a car to compete in the last round, and he made the decision that he was going to just make the run that he needed to, get some points so that he could cross the line and basically park it. Now he's going to be in the pro car, his comp car. The one that he really wanted to build up and everything. A little bit more displacement, a little bit more wheel speed, full built car, frame off, the whole 9. So exciting to see that because he's been testing that for a while, and the natural progression. The other car died. He didn't have it in the trailer ready to go. He borrowed a car, and here we go. Let's go ahead and see what he does with the new one.
Yeah, and we're doing the seating bracket right now. I do have the bracket up here. It's updated. Before we had John Temple on the bracket. He did pay for the whole series, but he's been having some.
I think we're about to go live here.
And
who's going to be on this first battle?
I believe it's going to be Eric Connect. I can't see that. It was so small writing. Kananowitz and Henry Pavone.
Okay.
So Eric
should be a Mustang then with the one, right?
Yes. It's a Mustang.
It's a little farther down there. We're going off of this. I normally would have notes and stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit last minute on the getting thrown up here to announce. But
we'll talk a little bit about Henry Pavone. I was actually telling you the FRS he's running, the rear axle is a 370Z.
Well, here we go. We got thumbs up from the judges going down to the line. We're going to go ahead and get some cameras on that, and let's enjoy the show here. FRS that got built out by an Orlando local here on the entry, putting in some angle. Oh, the Mustang cooking it, putting a little bit too much speed in there, trying to come around. The FRS taking a little bit of a shallow line, but still missing, unfortunately, that touch and go. The Mustang shutting down, and the FRS taking a little bit more of a shallow line on this back section. But as you see, once they click in, they are in.
Yeah.
You know, they find that zone, and they just try to fill it.
We're going to be seeing the drone replay shortly. And then I was talking about before how Henry Pavone, his rear axle snapped previously.
Sorry.
And you're going to see on the drone replay how Henry Pavone comes in with an initiation, still trying to get used to that rear axle. But our chaser, Eric, the Mustang, goes off track, zeroes his track, zeroes his run. And then you have Henry Pavone continuing on drifting out.
Yep.
The judge is going to be looking at if he actually zeroed on that outer zone.
So I don't think it's a zero, but he just definitely didn't get where the judges are wanting him.
Yeah.
And then as you can see on the tire marks, that there's a lot of range on where these drivers during testing have been going. A lot of them not finding that back zone until later in the practice runs, looking like this driver just had a little bit slower initiation, not quite sure. They rolled into power, did another check here to fill that zone, and then missed the touch and go. So it's not a great run, but it is a completed run.
Yeah, it's a completed run.
He does have the advantage going into this next round, so he needs to hold together a follow, and he's going to get to move on.
For sure. You just got to do what you have to do to keep going through the laps. You have the drones getting set up, and we're having our view of the first turn.
Well, here, since we got a second here, what are we doing right now? Are we in the bracket? We're
in the seating bracket. So this is basically...
Yeah, explain what that is.
So the seating bracket is basically what Formula Drift is doing now. So it's no qualifying runs. They're trying to get these drivers situated and ready for the actual pro level. So with the seating bracket, this gets them into the show. All right, if they win, if they're in top 16, if they pass the 32, they're in the show. But with today, with our drivers, it's all about placement where they get. So the higher the placement they get, the higher the placement they get in the main show bracket. So
we're still doing a top 32 bracket for the main, though. So we have how many drivers for this event?
It's actually less than 30, I believe.
That's what I was going to say. So everybody is going to be moving forward. So this is something that I've been hearing a lot of fans-wise and, a lot of questions is, hey, if you already have your stuff windowed down, what is the point of the seating bracket? And I go through exactly with what you say. We're getting them ready for the next level of competition. This is the highest level in grassroots in Florida. This is going for a card. This is going to FD, the highest level of drifting there is in the country. And we're getting them ready for that. Now, the cars need to be able to handle testing. They need to be able to handle your practice round. They need to be able to handle your seating bracket. You mentally need to be able to handle the seating bracket and then come out of seating bracket and go ready to be back in the top 32, no matter what your placement was, and go for the win.
And it also goes into the fact, too, this is getting these guys more seat time in a battle setting. So this is actually getting them more prepared. Compared to doing a qualifying run, I enjoy qualifying runs to see what they can put up, but we got our guys coming out here. Getting ready for the second run of this, but
thumbs up from all the judges here.
Here we go. You got Henry Pavone in the chase, and Eric in the lead. We'll talk about the seating bracket and the qualifying later. And here's Eric coming in with that Ford Mustang, Henry Pavone with the LS FRS coming in. Whoa, nice.
Overcooks it again.
Going all the way into that first outer zone. Here's Henry Pavone.
Oh, no.
Pavone wins out.
Just an unchaseable run. Unfortunately, really all over the place. Setup very weird. Was looking like they were just going to take out that inner zone there. You know, the start of the zone.
Yeah, it's. Let's see this first run right here, or the second run right here. You have Eric coming in with Mustang coming in with possibly, yeah, he was trying to Scandi flick into that first outer zone. He did go a little bit too deep.
Definitely has 2 off there. I mean, we can't fault our chase for chasing the line that's there. That's what they're supposed to do. But then it looked like they were about to, you know, they're nowhere near the line that's unfortunately supposed to be there, and then taking out the inner clip zone, or inner clip pylon. Not quite sure what's going on with the Mustang. In practice, is doing a little bit better. Once you do have the pressure on, but hopefully they figure out that car so that when they come back into the top 32, they can move forward. Looking like a drag race, like that static angle.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. And it looked, Henry was closer than what Eric was doing on the first lap.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Henry definitely playing it safe though, not understanding what kind of initiation is going to happen. It's unfortunate though because it is a 0, but it's on the chase. The lead performed a 0 before he did zeroed. So the winner should be announced here.
All right, we're waiting.
Kelsey doesn't need a radio. Kelsey can.
Kelsey's belting it out.
She's actually a baritone, if you didn't know.
A baritone?
No, I was joking. Her octave. Did that one get you?
We got the we got Henry Pavone that gets the win on that one.
Yep, pretty cut and dry win. Obviously, the only person to even make a complete run that round. Only one though, obviously in that chase. But now we got Colette in the new crazy Formula Drift car here. She was able to pick this up. First round was last round with it. I mean, we're going to talk about this car quite a bit. It's one of my favorites on grid right now. It's new, it's exciting, and she is absolutely sending it in this car.
And we have Alex Puig in the lead. I go to the pits and say Dr. Puig because he got his pharmaceutical degree. So here we go. Alex Puig in the lead. Colette Davis in the chase. Colette in that BMW with the anti-lag and nitrous coming in. Alex coming in with a nice initiation. Here comes Colette Davis. Oh, looks like she's 2 tires off. Going into the second outer zone. Alex going to fill that out all the way through. Has to dive into intercept.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
A 0 from both of them here.
Outer zone all the way through. Man.
That's unfortunate. So coming into the first zone, he barely touched it with his wing. So quite shallow. And the exact opposite from Colette here on this rerun, you're going to see she goes 4 into the paint. I mean, she filled the whole thing with her whole car.
Yeah.
Not the ideal line, but it just walked out a little bit more on her. Honestly, that is such a small dial that she's going to be able to do, and she's going to be killing that zone. But again, with that transition, like I said, when you start and transition late or you're not lined up, it is almost impossible to get the car from that back section in the second zone to get that inner clip.
Man, I was able to watch her video of her setting up this car for round 4, and when she first tried it out, she was actually driving on the rain because of the hurricane that came through, but she was feeling it out. She was killing it with it, and then LZ was testing it out, trying to give fine tunes. That video was great in the Drift HQ and in the Colette Davis Instagram and YouTube video. But you have Alex coming into this inner clip. I think he angled up a little bit too much and committed, and that's why I drove him into almost off track. So if he shallowed
it was off track for sure.
Yeah. So when going into outer zone 2, going into inner clip, I feel like some drivers are going to angle up way too much, just like how Alex did, and try to use that angle to slow them down, and that's going to just be like a handicap for them. So
it's going to be rough. The reason it's so wide on that section is to be able to fully float out, come around, get your angle, and get into that inner zone, and get ready to flick over into the final outer zone. That clipping point, though, is going to be a hard one. I feel like that pylon is going to get replaced multiple times today.
Yeah. Well, we have them switching sides. Colette Davis in the lead. Alex Puig in the chase. And let's see if she could perform out here in the lead. Talk to Alex in the pits. Man, he's a man of few words.
What? He's a chatterbox. What are you talking
I go
about?
I go up to him. I'm like, hey, how's the car doing? He's like, I didn't touch it for a month. We'll see how it goes.
He's hilarious. He's always talking. Him and his dad in the golf cart. Always a fun time out here. They love Sebring.
They are hilarious.
But Colette in the lead, like you said, under the Drift HQ tent. Our boy, Mr. PhD, under the U.S. Drift Circuit. Let's go ahead and see what they do over here. Coming into the first outer zone. Tons of power coming in. Big handbrake coming around and fills the zone perfectly. Coming around into the second outer zone. The anti-lag ripping, and she is coming up, hunting down that inner clip, doing an amazing job. Coming out for this final outer zone, trying to click it in and put that smoke show on. She is looking amazing out there. What a lead run.
I walked up to her after the driver's meeting. I'm like, get it, girl. And she definitely got it on that one. Going into
for
his
sure.
first outer zone. Being nice and consistent with that initiation. Wasn't being too aggressive. Wanted to float into that first outer zone. Filling it all the way out. Now the transition is buttery smooth. Going to outer zone 2. And then you heard that anti-lag kick in. The A10 Warhawk going into that inner clip. Hitting it perfectly. Going to the outer zone 3. And then she floats on there. We changed the color of the line like we said there. But she was a little bit shallow on that outer zone.
Late getting into the zone 2, but I think that it was just the way that she came through and floated. She wanted to nail that inner clip, and she did.
Yeah.
She carried her transition over a little bit and just didn't let the rear end float out enough on it. But Colette with the win. Holy cow, absolutely heater of a lead. I would love to chase that. Golly, put me in the car. All day watching drifting. I'm like, how would I just can I drive? Every day.
I love watching these guys drive, especially with the commitment that everybody has. That's my one favorite thing about it. Right now we have Giovanni Corana. Words are hard today.
It's okay.
Coronado,
We're close to the what is it? The veils are thinner. We're near Halloween.
Oh yeah.
You're speaking tongues over here.
Giovanni.
Savio, I got a big old hug with the man. He is a big old bear and just absolutely the nicest guy in the pits. Everybody in drifting is super cool, but this man will literally give the shirt off his back, the food off his plate, and he will put down everything he wants to do to make sure you are taken care of. I've gotten to work with him. I actually got to work with him the first time I ever announced years and years and years ago now. Over at OKC, but here they are going off. Savio in the lead under the Drift HQ tent. Let's go ahead and see how he does. His teammate obviously looked great filling that zone, and he is right in it. Sits on it, but unfortunately goes out just a little bit. Looks like he dropped possibly a tire. Coming in wide again, eating those cones with his bumper. Bumper coming off, just going a little wide on that inner clip and shutting down. Unfortunate as could be as his competitor moves on, just going through.
Yeah, man.
Not quite sure what happened.
Well, Giovanni Coronado, he went in there trying to chase down. He saw the initiation. Man, Savio did a great job. Possibly a tire off, maybe 2. But then transitioning into outer zone 2, he goes wide. It looks maybe a late transition going to outer zone 2. But then he's been having issues today and throughout the whole series with his car. He had to shut it down and get off the track. I do like the discipline Savio has. Compared to other events, we've seen those crashes where people are trying to stay committed, fight through it. But Savio knows when it's like, hey, this is going to be dangerous for the chase driver.
This is the difference between someone that doesn't do this all the time and someone that does. You're talking about discipline, and the thing that he sets his ego aside to keep the car safe, to keep the run good. He knows that this is a seating bracket. He knows this isn't the end of the day. He knows he's got more to do today, and he says, look, I'm going to go ahead, shut this down. Something's not right. You saw the smoke turn off. You saw the car all of a sudden just not really having the power it needed to. With this replay, it looks like maybe a power, cut, maybe, pulled timing to keep the motor safe. All these cars have so much. I think he's on a Link ECU system. So just a lot of stuff.
And, man.
Ooh, I just got stabbed in the back of the leg.
Oh, with the zip tie.
The zip tie just assaulted me.
Savio, he's, like you said, he's man, I love that dude. He's awesome. Always a smile on his face, enjoying it. He brings his passion and his faith into drifting, and it's great. And then with the drivers here, we have the next battle after that would be Hayden Williams and Marcelo Zalpa. But we have the second part of this battle. I think Savio is possibly gonna bow out.
I'm gonna see. Hold on, let me see if I can see around this if my cable's long enough.
It looks like Savio is probably gonna bow out.
I cannot see their pit from here. I can see their large tent, but I do not see his car. So.
Well, we have Giovanni coming out here. He's gonna do his. It's gonna possibly do a buy round.
Well, we still got track workers on the track, so I know they're not about to send it. So
we'll see. Oh
we'll
no,
see.
It looks like he is driving on the track, just saying.
I think he's just rolling across the line.
And we have people down there waving at us, but we also have our driver going through. Now we have our next drivers out here. Now you are probably familiar with that Corvette in the beginning of the series as well as last year. That's Colette Davis's Corvette that she sold last round. That's actually Marcelo.
Yeah.
And
I got to catch up with Marcelo.
Yeah.
So I caught up with him last round out in the pits. And the deal just made sense for both of them. Colette wanted to make the deal happen on the pro car that she was trying to buy. He's looking to step up. He loved the Corvette. He's been wanting to do something along those lines. Yep. And honestly, he said he looked good in pink, so he just pulled the trigger.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a deal. That Corvette is awesome. We were talking about, actually, before the live stream went up, how Colette Davis uses that anti-lag and that nitrous to kind of
simulate
like a V8. And
oh my goodness. Is everybody okay?
I felt like...
Did somebody just fall?
Oh, I think Bunny just jumped off the ramp.
Oh.
My goodness.
It sounded like somebody fell.
Man.
I was like, oh, no.
Help, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah. Hey, life alert.
Man, I remember up north with I fell in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get up.
You could change your setting to where it doesn't keep closing on you.
Man, this is my first time having an iPhone.
You want me to change it for you?
Yes, please, sweetheart.
Okay, I got you.
I appreciate it.
I'll be the tech savvy, uncle for you.
We have Marcelo right here, getting ready.
So display, and then here, so you can turn all your stuff, so auto lock and stuff like that. We're gonna turn that off for right now.
Yeah. Awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'll also give you guys Apple support if you guys have questions. Theo Dustin is here to help.
Hayden Williams and Marcelo Zalpa. The funniest thing is I work IT, but I'm on computers and internet-wise.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, going from PC to Mac is rough.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
I used to have my A+ certification. Trust me, I get it. I've set up servers. I've set up racks. Stuff is fun.
Yeah.
Running coax for no reason, for it to get obsoleted in like 3 years, but whatever.
Yeah. Now everything's going fiber.
Well, as it should have.
Yeah.
As it should have. Trying to push fiber speeds over line makes 0 sense.
Yeah. Well, here we go. We got Hayden Williams. He's going to be in the lead. Marcelo in the chase. And we have a media guy just having a casual stroll.
No, he's putting some work in,
No, he just stopped.
Hey, I give a lot of credit to the media guys. They are traveling way more distance than we are.
Yeah, let's speak
running
of the media guys too after this run.
Yeah, big shout about them.
All
okay.
Right.
So here they go. Let's go ahead and see now. Our boy coming in from Louisiana, or somewhere around there at least. Oh, my goodness. Going down south. Monza. A lot to process there. I also thought it was a completely different car when it first went off the line. There's another red car that has the white bar on it in the front there, but
my goodness, that was crazy.
Yeah, let's rewatch it here and just try to dissect it because my brain was hurting.
Yep. Hayden Williams comes in with initiation. I think he
just floats too far.
Exactly what I was about to say.
I feel like the wheel speed finally kicked in, the tires let loose, and he just went off track. Colette obviously backing off at that point, trying to still get a run in for some practice. Or not Colette, you know
Marcelo.
what I mean. Marcelo and Colette's whole car. Goodness.
Man, Colette is driving 2 cars.
She's out here with 2 cars, man. It's crazy, Man. Women drivers are just nuts. They're just a different breed.
To be honest, they have been stepping up, especially in the FD arena. There's Amanda Sorensen coming out there killing it, but Colette Davis is going to be a very feisty contender, and I believe as soon as she gets dialed in with that BMW, she'll be a feisty competitor. But right
I
here,
know Marcelo literally is like, everybody keeps saying that. He's going to watch back to this. He's like, God dang, even Dustin?
But we have Marcelo in the lead, Hayden Williams in the chase.
Take this one away, buddy.
Right.
I want to hear it.
Right.
Full announcer.
Here we go.
We never go full announcer.
Never go full announcer. Well, I go full announcer because I have energy drink in my veins. Here comes Marcelo with that Chevy Corvette. Nice initiation. Goes that first outer zone. Let's see if he stay in there. Oh, beautiful. Gets out of that outer zone one a little bit early, but he's diving into inner clip. Oh, my goodness. Able to float out there and try to get to that transition, but Hayden Williams spins out. And then here comes Marcelo, flirting with outer zone 3 all the way through. That is a complete lap for that lead driver.
Sorry for what?
I got excited.
No, get excited.
I like American muscle.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, coming in, we see a little faint, and then a long, straight, and not like they haven't started drifting, but like really just trying to set in. Thank you for grabbing the TV from flying away. Yeah. Looking at the chase, a lot more angle and stuff, but it just then trying to build that speed is just not going to get there. Really you see how far outlined out of everybody else that's done that. And then that hard stop, obviously, because of that quick whip transition, because how far he was and trying to set up for it, really just made it to where that chase, obviously, was going to have a real hard time. He decided to spin the car instead of trying to brake and not run into him. So decisions are made.
So we're going to get the drivers lined up real quick for the decision. But,
yep, they're trying to make sure that it's on camera, the point by, because where it's at in the back, we just cannot see.
Did Marcelo just 180?
But
it looks like Marcelo gets the win.
Marcelo getting the win. Moving on in the seating bracket here.
Well, I wanted to touch a little bit on that inner clip from Hayden Williams. It looked like he shallowed up and dived in, and then he might have felt like he had too much speed, and when he transitioned, he overcorrected and over-rotated. I think that's possibly what it was going through his head.
Well, also watching the lead car. When you are drifting, you are solely looking at the wheels, the front tire of that car. It'll tell you everything that's happening with that front lead car. And, seeing the adjustments, seeing the corrections coming up, the confidence to dive in, and then trying to go out, but then right there you're seeing he was on such a weird wider line with a quick snap transition where he's diving in trying to go wide with it, but now he's way too inside on him. He's about to pass his front wheel, and there's no way to shut that down is what he felt. He didn't think he was going to start moving fast enough out of his way, so he spun the car.
Yeah, so we're going to revisit the previous battle. Savio did not bow out. He was saying, hey, I just need to fix certain things. Did his 5-minute timeout. Now he's out here in the chase.
So for the people back at home, 5 minutes, does that mean that he doesn't have it in competition now?
So no, his crew gets 5 minutes to repair his car, and it looks like Savio is coming in there.
Slamming into him.
Smokes. And here comes Giovanni Coronado.
Giovanni in the BMW absolutely putting the car in its place where it needs to go to try to get that inner clip. Coming around and clicking it into gear. A lot of adjustments, though. A lot of pedal, a lot of, changing gears. Very interesting. Car did not look settled at all.
Yeah, and, man, we're going to look here with Savio. I think he wanted to get a good chase and really aggressive chase here because of his previous lap. But he floated. Oh, he had so much speed.
Well, the lead car didn't get on throttle until there. You can see the smoke isn't there. And so that's one of the things why when FD they have those light bars on the front to see what's going on, really. But he was floating. He was trying to drag his car out without pulling handbrake. So he didn't check. He didn't brake. But he did not put on throttle. And Savio was banking on him doing what he's supposed to do in that zone. Yeah, which was when we start really going where the judges are going to say, well, wait, was this issue a Savio issue? Or was this a lead car issue? So with that being said, it looks like who got the win?
Savio gets the win.
Savio getting the win, which tells me, and this is what I believe happened. I am standing next to the judges, but I cannot hear them. They're seeing that slow up there, not putting in the power to get moving, obviously caused that choke up and caused that hit. So they're going to give that to Savio because he had a completed run.
Yeah, well, Well, your intuition was right on that one. It's great to see it. I actually loved. I was at last year's Black Friday event. You were driving, and you tried to recruit my son to be a pit crew. But we have Dustin being able to kind of articulate what's going on with the judges and just having that intuition. I love.
You can be in the camera. You're fine.
So here we go. We got Matt Shulman in the lead. Henry Pavone in the chase. Henry Pavone won his previous battle. We were saying that he had that 370Z back in the axle that he replaced and got it to fit in that FRS. And you have Matt Shulman out here. He's been a feisty competitor as well. Man, Henry Pavone, I love his attitude. He's always smiling. Similar, I would say they're similar to Savio. Savio is always out there.
What do we got here? Does that mean he has 16 battles with 16 wins and 3 losses?
That is actually the standings, basically. That's their ranking.
Oh,
so
okay.
it could go into everything. We're looking at the brackets, the live brackets that you'll see on the live stream is pinned on top of the comments. But here we go. Matt Shulman in the lead. Henry Pavone in the chase. Here comes Matt Shulman, able to fill out first out of zone. Looks like possible 2 tires off. Henry Pavone straightens down. Zone 2. And now diving into inner clip. Beautiful fill out transition. Let's see if he gets to outer zone 3. Flirting with disaster all the way through. Able to fill out outer zone 3.
What a run by Matt Shulman. Henry having a hard time, looking like he almost straightened out of that first zone. Let's go ahead and watch this rerun here. Shulman getting ready. Preloads the car up, handbrakes in, and plants the car. And it, maybe goes 2 off at the end. And Henry looking like he's not in drift for most of that run. He looks like he's running an autocross.
Yeah.
And then goes real far outside. Matt Shulman doing a nice flick into that for the transition, and then sits and is just grabbing that line right there. And just touching the cone on the last one, but I think the judges are going to be looking at that first outer zone.
I believe so too. I'm just curious what's going on with Henry because he comes in, initiates. You see no smoke from the rear of his tires going.
He's trying to float his car out because Matt has the angle. So when you throw out your car in that angle and then you put the power on, you're not going to just dart forward.
Yeah.
If your car is not sideways, though, that power wants you to move forward. The grip is going to be there. So he can't put any wheel speed in because he would have just rammed into Matt Shulman. He needed to match angle. For him to have done that, he would have needed to readjust, pull some handbrake, go ahead and get that rear end back out. But if he would have done that, he would have gone 2 tires off in that position. So it's a hard battle of what do you want to do.
And I believe that Henry might be calling a 5.
I'm hearing something.
Yeah, it looks like Henry's going back to the pits to call a 5. So we were talking about 5-minute timeouts earlier. Got cut off because of the round. So 5-minute timeouts. They have one in seating bracket and then one at the main show, the top 30.
So they do get 2.
They get 2 if they're in the seating bracket. But in the main show, if you're already set there, you only have 1. Now,
so when you say main show, so how many people are actually on the seating bracket competition right now?
So right now, it looks like we have a little bit. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like 36, I believe.
So how did Henry get in there so fast?
So Henry was in the bracket. If you look at it,
I'm looking at it. So we just saw him battle, and then so he battled to even be in the main bracket.
So this is not the main bracket yet. So
right.
We had an extra.
That's what I was confused with. So I know
goes
how
in.
bracket looks. And I'm like, what is going on here?
So whenever you see on the bracket, especially on the live stream for you people that check it in, when you see like the extra tails, that's for those people to get into that main top 16 bracket there. So, actually that is 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's a 16 bracket. So that would be technically
maybe the option, or just starting it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I think would help a whole lot. But again, we're over here specifically trying to just figure everything out.
All right, we are at the grade 8 of our bracket for the seating bracket. And we're looking at what's going on the track. We're getting it cleaned up, getting it set up. We have our track crews re-chalking the lines so everybody can see what's going on. Our next battle that will be going is Matt Shulman versus Juliano Emanuel. And we're going to get them taken care of.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
So
looks like they're playing with the brightness on the TV over here.
Change the CSP settings.
It's like no, I get it.
Your PP filter is off. The sim people will understand that.
The what?
The PP filter. On a Seto with a sim, you could change the filters. So we have. Let's talk about our media guys. We talked a little bit about them earlier.
Yeah.
The media guys out here just killing it with photos, everything they do. There's one guy out here that's, I think he has way too much protein and testosterone.
Dude, he's on the whey protein. He's killing it. Dude.
he's
great.
There.
He's hilarious.
The first time I met him, I'm like, dude, that.
He actually, when he shakes your hand, he actually picks you up a little, and it shakes your whole body like a cartoon character. It's pretty cool.
Man, the media guys out here, they love it.
A lot of character in all of them.
If you ever get a chance to talk to a media person, you have to, especially being a spectator.
We got Bunny, the cosplay party animal clubber, and we've got Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. We've also got my buddy that can fix anything, you know, with his redneck beard, like a little bit more redneck than mine, you know.
Oh man, these guys are awesome.
It's all over the place. Looks like we're just still having some technical difficulties on lineup.
Yeah, it looks like they're lining up Outer Zone 3 and getting it situated. And speaking of, I think that's our boy out there that we were talking about, Arnold Schwarzenegger with whey protein on the track as well.
Somewhere, I'm sure.
Out there.
Well, just want to go ahead and do a big shout out for our sponsors, obviously. Drift HQ, supplying all the parts you could need. Local out here in the Florida game. They've been doing it for quite a while, over 10 years, I believe. Obviously, Auto Sports Engineering, they are making purpose-built parts, absolutely killing the game with all of that stuff. Obviously, U.S. Drift Circuit is a huge supporter of all the local drift and actually having a fun day as we are talking right now, renting out this side of Sebring so that everybody can get in there and have fun. I got to actually compete in the taxi garage competition for the last event. That was a ton of fun. A lot of these guys are using, just like the pros, Link ECU, managing their systems, making sure everything runs right. Making sure things run right on these streams is Outlaw Network TV. They're absolutely going for it. Obviously, we've got St. Lucie Tire doing some tire swaps for people. That's where those Kenda tires come in, so these drivers can perform at their best. As you were talking about that A10 Warthog, Veterans Trust is out here, and they are making sure with their sim, rehabilitating soldiers and people in the service to reintroduce back into it and work through a PTSD in the most interesting way that I've seen.
Yes.
And it's in a safe environment that I really appreciate.
And they also give back to our troops.
Yeah.
Because they did the visit to Fort Liberty.
Yep.
Where
Jealous I wasn't invited.
where they were all out there just shredding on post. Kelsey Rawlings was also out there shredding, and then also an Apache helicopter flying overhead.
It's the only time she's ever been on a military base. It was actually her first time. She had a great
really?
time. I'm just making jokes.
Okay.
I'm making things up 100%.
Actually,
she's right here. I could have just asked her. Like, it was her first time. She's never been.
We had
it's her first time drifting, too. She just started drifting. Just last year, just started drifting.
No, we actually had a couple of drivers. That was first time on a military base, first time experiencing the military there. Because right before they started drifting, doing the event, they had a brigade run. So a brigade run is a huge formation of soldiers just running, and you hear calling cadence. That was one of my things I did in the military, and it was motivational, kind of like, all right, let's get amped up, let's have a morale boost, and that's what they do out there. And then the troops out there were nuts. They were rowdy, they were having fun, having a good time.
They are a bunch of functional caffeine addicted alcoholics.
I was just about to say they're probably fueled from Rippets, probably nicotine. And
do they still give you guys Rippets?
Brother, that is the best.
That
thing
was the
ever.
staple of all of Iraqi freedom.
While I was deployed in Afghanistan, I was drinking Rippets and chewing tobacco.
Oh my
well,
gosh!
Not drinking,
And now you've got a zesty boy and pouch in your mouth right now.
Well, I quit smoking, so that's a good thing. That's one thing stepping into Florida that helped out. Which one, the weather's better than where I was in Pennsylvania, and two, it helped me quit smoking because I love going out there. But here we go.
Oh, I was about to say, are we going? We're watching a.
That looks like Duarte warming up his tires, scrubbing up the tires. Actually, Dustin, talk about the Bob.
The what?
Burnout box.
Oh, I was like, what are we talking about? Just making up acronyms over here. How am I supposed to know? So yeah, burnout box. Obviously, they're gonna go ahead and get those tires nice and warm so they are as sticky as possible. Dude, in the Bob. Oh, it's a Bob? It's a burnout box. The Bob. Okay. I heard a bop, and I'm like, what are we talking about? I'm not a Gen Z. I don't know what this slang means. Dude, Duarte shredding the Bob, coming into this first outer zone, absolutely sending it with all that Bob smoke coming around to the second outer zone, looking for that inner clip, and the anti-lag looks like it's all of Drift HQ. Spec2 must be messed with all of their stuff, throwing it big and putting on a performance in smoke. Holy cow, that car is a rocket.
Duarte out there just ripping that track.
Ripping that Bob.
Ripping the Bob and then going into first out of zone with...
He doesn't, I made a joke and he doesn't know how to handle it. He starts laughing and he just changes his dialect. Apparently during the main event, I'm not going to make jokes at him because he's going to be like, good day, mate. Here we are down under on the Barbie. Here we go. Throw it in backies. Luke Fink shows up out of nowhere.
It's just the funny thing is with Alec,
dude,
with Alec commentating, he will sneak one in and it'll get me. You're very you're Florida man about it. Like you're out front with it. And it's crazy. And that's what catches me off guard. I love it.
We got was this Matt Schulman in the Bob?
Yeah, Matt Schulman in the Bob.
Goodness gracious,
and
that is going to stick. That is not going away. Everybody's going to be so tired of that joke. Dude, on the Bobby.
On the Bobby.
B-O-B. Bring your own box. All right?
Here we go. Matt Schulman.
Yeah, bring your own burnouts.
Juliano Emmanuel in the chase.
Get it together. You got this one. Go for it.
There he goes. Matt Schulman coming in with a nice initiation and clutch kitchen in the first outer zone. All the way through. Transitioning to outer zone 2. Juliano Emmanuel is a shallow line trying to get that chase run. But Matt Schulman is a little shallow in that interclip transitioning to outer zone 3. Able to put one tire, two tires into outer zone 3 going all the way around. Juliano Emmanuel, active chase. Beautiful.
Did you just 1-2, you're out of here? Are you baseballing these guys? So obviously Matt Schulman coming in pretty straight, doing a big handbrake entry, which is what he's just finding to be more predictable. Unfortunately, still putting him deep inside that zone. I'm not quite sure if it's out or not. Holding on to that angle, chase driver really trying to match it, trying to find that space, cutting deep into the line there, not following Matt's at all. Coming in absolutely almost destroying it, but deciding to straighten out instead of just eating the pylon and then coming around to go for this last outer zone. They're rolling back to go ahead and switch places. I think that we're going to see hopefully some redemption here for our chase driver here to get in that lead spot and really throw something down.
You like that little play, baseball play?
It was something.
It was good.
It was a laugh,
See,
for sure.
That's why you're very upfront about it. I'll be a little sneaky about it. Sometimes I'll incorporate lyrics into my commentary.
Oh, I love the jokes. I'm a lyricist. I attempt to make all kinds of silly jokes. What lands, is just like these planes. Who knows? See, the wordplay, the puns.
Yeah.
That wasn't a pun, but it was, situational.
Yeah, for sure. But we're going to have them switch up. You're going to have Matt Schulman in the chase, Juliano Emmanuel in the lead. And
Juliano Emmanuel.
Yeah, he's also I think this is his first season as well here in the U.S. Drift Circuit. Struggling a little bit, but able to get on track. Here we go. Juliano Emanuel in the lead. Matt Schulman in the chase. Coming in with a big Scandinavian flick. It looked like possibly a three-point initiation wins that first out of zone, but missing the first out of zone transition. Early exit on outer zone 2, misses inner clip.
Oh, Matt Schulman backing off there.
Outer zone 3, all the way through. Matt Schulman is able to get back to the close proximity. Man. Predictability on the lead driver was very hard, especially this initiation. When I talk about three-point initiation, it kind of looked like one. He looked like he went 1, 2, yep, and 3.
So that's against the rules.
Yeah, it's against the rules.
So yeah, so it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
It is. There's no way to know what you're doing, and this is what we've been seeing by other drivers that we've been like really closely monitoring, and we haven't had to say because it hasn't happened yet. But you got to be predictable. You got to be able to let that guy know when you're going to initiate. And with Matt Schulman doing a big handbrake grab, it's okay. He's driving straight. I know he's just gonna and go. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When are you gonna initiate? Pick up sticks. Like, what's going on?
But so when you're talking about like the three-point initiation, you want to step right and then step left, and you'll be able to initiate into the turn. But Juliano went left, right, and then initiated. It was kind of wild. You don't see that in the pro level, and that's where the big dock is going to be. So
yep,
they're going back to get situated.
Yeah, we're going to find out who gets this win here. Matt Schulman gets the win. Obviously, with the three-point initiation and a 0, and the chase that we had watched where he had zeroed, obviously, Matt Schulman, the only one with points on that run. Looks like you're reading things. What are we reading here?
So that we have the chat up. And the second thing,
I can't read this.
Oh, that's for subscribers only mode. So people that are subscribed to the channel, actually, that's what you should do. If you want to chat with us, talk to us, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Hit that bell for notifications.
Just make sure you bring your own burnout for the Bob.
I can't with you.
Oh, man, you're the one that said it. Hey, Dustin, go ahead and talk about the Bob. The what? All right, here we go. Coming in, Sasha in the lead. Coming up, a little bit of a bobble there, but then gets settled coming around. Colette matching that angle well in that transition to the second outer zone. Looking for this inner clip, and both of them absolutely hunting it down. Coming around here in the anti-lag through the smoke is one of my most favorite things right now. But Sasha kicking it into gear and putting down some smoke and absolutely filling that last outer zone.
Wow.
What a run.
Sasha Prospero out here getting rowdy, going in with a nice initiation. He was flirting with that line.
Yeah, and then you can see the correction here where he's like, I want to get deeper into it so he can get into the zone.
And then going into transitioning to outer zone 2. Nice transition to outer zone 2. Here's Colette trying to find out where he's going.
Yep, grabbing some handbrake to try to get settled.
I love how Colette is now looking more smooth. And when you saw her going from outer zone 2 to inner clip 1, you didn't see her correct anymore. She just floated, and she just dived it.
She's definitely, right now, she is waiting for the driver to start the initiation. Yep. She is not predicting it. She's ready. She's on it. She's waiting for anything to happen, and as soon as she sees it, she's going. That's why you're seeing that little bit of a delay on it. But she's trying to say, hey, I haven't seen this guy run enough. Want to make sure that we got it safe. I want to go ahead and get a good run in. She was more in the zone in this last one, or the first one, I mean. Just a little bit of distance, but great timing there. Great job on that transition coming up and then sucking up this space here that Sasha handed her, basically, and following that line. She's doing a great job as a chase should. A little bit more proximity, and that would have been insane.
All right. Here comes Colette Davis in the lead. Sasha Prospero in the chase. We're going to see how they perform on this second lap. Colette Davis has been very, I wouldn't say passionate, but very critical on what she has to do in order to win and to get herself settled. When I talked to her with the Corvette, she was upset at times about what she struggled with, but looks like a restart happening. But like I was saying before, she was upset. She's very hard on herself at times, and I get it. But with drifting, resiliency is key. That's the big thing. And that's what I love about the sport. With the people that are more resilient tend to do a lot more. Not saying that she's not resilient, but I believe this time, this event, compared to last event, she's a lot more comfortable and understanding. All right, I messed up a little bit. Let me
last
get it.
event, she's throwing the car at a wall. What do you mean? She was super confident. That is a lot to do. A brand new car, OSW, a man-eater of a track. We have seen Formula Drift drivers total out cars there. And she said, "Oh, I'm going to send it in."
Well,
dude, confidence to the T's. What a great job she did.
Yeah, and here she comes. You said man-eater, and the song popped up in my head. And we're getting her in the lead. So there was a restart because Colette Davis jumped the light. All right, here we go. Sasha Prospero in the chase. Colette Davis in the lead. Let's see how she performs out here.
Here we go. Sounded like a drag race over there. Both of them getting ready to send in. Colette trying to click in with a big grab and absolutely planning it into the first outer zone. Sasha with better proximity. A little bit of a dive here. Getting nice and close. Coming in into this inner clip. Oh, my goodness. Sasha trying to get on that door. And he is now getting lost. She is diving away from him. And absolutely, dude, holy cow. She was on it.
She was on it. Yeah, let's look at this replay right here.
Colette looked great.
Burning tires right off the rip.
I want to see. So she does a little bit of a preload, sets it up, grabs a little handbrake so it floats back a little bit, and just puts in the power. You see it in the middle, just finally catch, and she sits back. Great job by Sasha here on that transition and predictability, and a good job getting nice and close. And then here she is. She is dialed. She has the line. She's going to hold it and just gets onto that first one right there, coming into this outer zone. I mean, we've got an announcement to the point. And Colette gets the win.
Colette Davis gets the win, and we do love how Colette was able to float into that inner clip and then float it. A very, very predictable run that she did. Very nice and smooth going through that outer zone 2 to inner clip. Man. Oh, man.
Smoothies.
Strawberry banana smoothie. That's what their car reminds me of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It reminds me of Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, that's not nice.
What do you mean?
Here we go.
That helps hundreds of thousands of people every year.
Yeah.
With indigestion, bloated stomach, and...
Here we go.
It's not even an ad.
Duarte in the lead. Ryan Acevedo in the chase.
Title sponsor Drift HQ versus Injuku, Orlando area. Two big parts suppliers. Amazing cars, amazing drivers. Duarte been in it quite a while. Ryan coming from the sim world like you had talked about. Duarte, tons of space on Ryan. Big initiation, filling the zone, absolutely. Ryan cutting line, trying to get some proximity back with a snappy transition. It gets in that space, and holy cow, coming into that inner clip, it's like he was there the whole time. Ryan taking all the distance up, taking in that line, while putting on a clinic. Duarte was going in, only missing really that outer zone 3.
One thing I want to look at in this drone replay, on outer zone 2, he was coming in. The initiation was beautiful from Duarte, coming in with a big, nice Scandinavian flick, smooth as butter going into that first outer zone, filling it all the way out from beginning, and then falls off midway through. And then here he comes trying to set up the angle for the outer zone 2. Here's the outer zone 2. This is where I want to look. Going into inner clip 1, does he fall in off track, just one tire or 2 tires?
Oh.
Might be 2 tires, maybe 1. I'm not, it's really hard to see.
He definitely dived in, and I mean, there is the white line there, and I mean, he just really he got target fixation almost and just aimed at it.
Yeah, but it still was a very chaseable run. But he also fell out of outer zone 3 as well. So there's a lot of tip for town here. It's definitely a good run for both of the drivers. Now we're gonna have Ryan Acevedo in the lead, and then Duarte in the chase.
Yeah, I'm wondering what if Duarte's in points right now for that, because I don't know if that's a 0 or not, because those tires over. If that's what I saw.
From what I understood from the driver's briefing, wherever there was powder, Flower. 3 tires off possibly is a 0. We'll get a clarification after this for the viewers at home. But here we go. Duarte is in the
0. 3. Okay. So 3 tires.
3 tires for a 0. All right, here we go. Duarte in the chase. Ryan Acevedo in the lead. Coming out here. Here comes Duarte trying to predict that initiation. And here comes Ryan Acevedo being able to fill out the first outer zone a little bit late into that first outer zone. Transitioning into outer zone 2. Beautiful. And then angles up into inner clip. Oh, beautiful transition into the outer zone 3, but falls off the outer zone 3. Duarte is trying to keep up. But, man, Ryan Acevedo was a lot smoother going into inner clip and being rowdy with that. See, man. Ryan Acevedo. Duarte. There we go. What do you think about this, man?
Yeah, so I mean, I was watching it, letting you announce here, and Ryan, a little bit early, but like ends up getting in there, you know. And I'm just trying to remember. I was trying to think of how Duarte did it, but then like proximity-wise, this is a spot where Ryan really caught up fast, and then it's because the angle to fill out that outer zone. And instead of putting tires over on the line, Ryan really sets that up well and goes through. And you might say, oh, my gosh, he choked up the line for the follow. Well, no, the follow can't impede the lead. So.
And it looks like Ryan Acevedo gets the win and moves on. And definitely, I totally agree on your viewpoint, thinking maybe that choked up the chase driver. But it looked like it was a cleaner lap.
It was doing the run. It's just the way that he had run it before. He did way more inside.
Yeah.
And then like made the car rotate around to where Ryan was set up in the out. You know, doing what he should as a lead, and just went around. I liked Ryan's line better. Obviously, the judges did too. So I mean, hopefully that's what we see from the drivers coming up. I do like the little graphics now that we have of their cars and stuff. So we got the Corvettes over here. Leo Alvarado. Alvarado. It's like El Dorado. City of Gold. He's looking for the gold here today. Christian Catrone coming around with his Corvette. Absolutely an animal in every competition he enters in. He is a passionate driver, and excited to see the two of them go together. Both of them coming out of the OSW area, driving a bunch together in the local Orlando scene.
Yeah, Christian Catrone out there. Last year he did a great job. This year he said he was going to lock in. He's been having some unfortunate luck as well. But Leo has been having worse luck, I would say. Christian Catrone is more like battle-wise. He's like locked in, getting situated, and then he gets matched up like last round. Well, actually, in Sebring, when we were here last time, he battled Matt Showman. That was a crazy battle. And he was like, man, it was a good battle. I'm happy like it ended that way instead of him being at fault, you know? Like
right.
It's more of I battled it out, I fought through. Here's Christian Catrone in the lead. Leo Alvarado in the chase, and I believe what I said before about his spotter looking at him and saying, hey, you got to fix that initiation. Now he has to angle up. Looks like he possibly used it. Oh, my goodness. Almost contact, transitioning into outer zone 3, and all the way through. Ooh, the judge is going to look at that one.
Leo chasing it down, trying to get that proximity back. You can watch here, two Corvettes off the line going. Little generation difference between them. C6 to the C5 here. And our initiation, it's going in slow-mo, so it's just taking me a second. But a lot of tire drag in the front from Leo with his right foot, left foot braking, trying to get that front settled down. I was just watching. I'm like turning my head, watching it like, you know, I'm in the car. And a lot of tire smoke on the front there, too. Both of them really just trying to get it dialed in. And you can see where he was getting that speed up, and I got to throw on the brakes, and that just cost him the proximity there in the last zone.
It looked like Christian Catrone angled up late into that inner clip, and that's what caused the choke up with Leo.
It's different line, and Leo was at a charge point. He had extra speed coming in because of the line that he had taken. So that's what when you take a shallow line, those are the things you end up getting bunched up if you overchase it. It's better to match angle and work in and cut line a little bit if you need to, but I think you cut too much. But here we go, switching zone with Leo in the front here. Coming into this front, Christian on a little bit inner line as well. A little bit late on his transition there. Trying to match him. Leo taking a hugely inside line, absolutely going off track. Christian doing his best to follow it. And this outer zone, looks great, getting some proximity, looking like they're out there having a good old time. Unfortunately, Leo taking a huge inside thing. I don't know what was going on there.
Going into this initiation, we have them going out there. Christian Catrone is trying to mimic in a way, but he actually goes straight approach in the chase. So he clutch kicks, he brakes to try to float into it, and then he gets back on throttle. But here's Leo filling out the first outer zone. Great. Transition, gets one tire off from what I see. Only into outer zone 2.
Yep.
And then
now, right here, Leo just says, I'm just going to go this way.
Yep.
This is where I am. This is what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and put my passenger door into this. Christian Catrone with the win, driving off first here.
Yep.
You know, 2 Corvettes battling it out. Yeah, the car definitely decided where it was going in that moment.
Yeah. So we have our next battle coming up. It's going to be Matt Schulman versus Colette Davis. And Colette Davis is coming up to the line.
Is Matt Schulman out there?
I don't see Matt Schulman with Bob.
Burnout box. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. So I've seen Colette. Is she on a buy run here?
Let's see what happens. So
Did something happen to Matt Schulman that we're not aware of?
that's what we're trying to figure out, get some information from the track staff. But on the right side of the bracket, we're at the final 4 of the seating bracket, which is great. It's great to see that. These guys moving along, getting everything situated. It does look like Colette Davis is getting a bye run.
In the final 4, so she's moving on to 1 or 2 here.
Yep, 1 or 2 in the seating bracket.
In the seating bracket. Okay.
All right, and here's Colette Davis.
Well, that's going to help her with her competitions here. But, yeah, Colette Davis absolutely going in. A nice tight shot coming around. Oh, man, filling the zone there. Anti-lag with a big old drink. Dude, it almost sounds like a Jake break more than anti-lag.
I love it. I'm a fan. I am a fan of that.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like a Jake break, but it's still awesome.
That's wild.
No, man. Here she goes off track.
So we'll try to find out what happened to Matt.
Yeah, we'll get the information. You look at this angle right here. Oh my God.
Yeah, beautiful.
Great shot. Smoke screen and gauge going all the way through, and then just using that e-brake to kind of float ourselves into outer zone 2.
Obviously, we'd like him to be in power.
Yeah.
Full commitment and on throttle.
She kisses that inner clip cone and just goes all the way around. Man, she just made a great display out there, and you see her fluorescent gloves as she's working the wheel.
It's funny is in the driver's meeting, she's in her driver's suit, right?
Yeah.
From the color scheme and livery on her Corvette that she sold. And so it's just like highlighter running around.
Okay. And I do see in chat, greetings from Northwest Florida. I hope you guys were safe from the hurricanes we had. You were saying before you help out with the hurricanes. We actually, Alec is also, he's one of his companies, one of the sponsors, Claim Defenders, with Milton. It devastated Florida. Even though it was a Category 2 going in the middle of it, it's still, the speeds were crazy. Where I was at, I even messaged you. I'm like, hey, be safe out there because I know you're in the Tampa area. Yeah. And I see your Instagram posts being the typical Florida man.
I was just barefoot walking around in some water, man. No big deal.
Dude,
it's normal.
Well, that's normal. The water stuff is normal for me up in Jersey, but the wind was crazy. I've never experienced wind like that in a hurricane. Yeah. A tree almost obliterated the corner of my house.
Oh no!
So okay, everything is safe.
So you said Claim Defenders. Is he a public adjuster or?
So basically, he helps out people that with say their roof or something happens during a natural disaster. He actually helps the people out there that have insurance, home insurance, to get their basically the money back.
So he's a public adjuster?
Yeah, basically.
So just trying to make sure I understand what he is.
It's kind of
a law firm or something.
He was explaining it, and I'm like, oh, cool. So you get people more money for what the insurance says.
So they're able to argue policy.
Yep. Exactly.
Which is something that, like myself, I can't do. I'm a contractor, general contractor, and do roofing. So I do all kinds of stuff there. But like helping put on tarps and helping people be safe, clearing
Yeah, dude.
trees, clearing light posts, clearing out street lights that were in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Not playing with down power lines, that's a no-no. But yeah, no, genuinely, with the first one with Helene,
Yeah.
I was in Crystal River, I was in Tampa helping people with the flooding, and then I went up to Big Bend to help that area because they got hit the worst.
Yeah.
And then after I was done there for a week, I came back. I got to see my house for a day,
Yeah.
and then I was out to Tampa getting ready for Milton to come through and just
That's
attack us with a stapler.
crazy. And literally, I was talking to my son on the way here. We're driving through, sun was rising, and then like at nighttime you don't really see like kind of like what aftermath is still out there.
Mhm.
But when the sun rises and you see like down signs still from Milton, it's upsetting in a way that I hope these people, especially with the tornadoes that hit.
A lot of
Close by.
tornadoes. Yeah, so
Man.
near my mom's house out in Riverview, there was 5 tornado touchdowns, and it's just like nuts. And the
Yes.
destruction out there is crazy. But hey, a lot of people, fared. Power was out for almost a week in some areas, still out in some areas. My buddy Max still is flooded into his house. So his house is raised like on land, but the pumps they took out, and there was 6 foot, 5 foot of water standing outside of his house,
That's crazy.
which is wild. So
Yeah.
delayed some stuff for us. We were trying to have our cars ready by V2 Labs, which is this weekend. Obviously, that didn't happen with the hurricane. His car is not done. My car isn't done. Just the timing and the delays, and then obviously other things happening. Nothing could get done in time. But I got to borrow a car, so Mateo rents out a Z, so I'm getting to use that. So I
Nice.
rented a little HRZ with some FDF on it, and I drive a WiseFab HRZ now. So same.
This is great, dude. And I was actually talking about it earlier. You were actually talking to the judges. I got to see you drive before Fuel Fest at the Black Friday drifts.
Mm-hmm.
And that was cool to see you drive.
Yeah.
You try to recruit my son as a crew member.
Yep. I'm like, you want to help?
So, it's cool to see the passion and the love of the motorsport, especially when you're down there doing the interviews while me and Alec are up here. It's an awesome segue into different things.
Yeah,
But
Sorry,
understanding that-
no interviews this time, but the track system and the way the cameras were didn't really work out. Alec had to work on the Hurricane, so I went ahead and stepped back into the old announcing seat.
Yeah.
It was kept warm.
Yes, it was. But no, dude, it's awesome to see you drive at those events. One
appreciate
thing
it.
about like the final round of Sebring, it's sad for me. I'm like, oh, I'm upset, but I'm excited to see the local scene go out there and shred.
Yeah.
But we have the guys getting warmed up in the Bob.
So what's crazy, because there was a buy run, unless somehow Schulman gets his stuff together, this is determining 1, 2, and 3 here, basically. So
Yeah.
the loser of this is going to be 3rd place, because Colette is going to the final battle. So either Ryan or Christian Catrone, but we are looking at our podium right now.
Yes.
Well,
So-
air quotes podium. Our podium for seating.
This will be the loser would go to 3rd, and then the winner will go to battle for 1st and 2nd.
Right.
So we have seen Catrone and Acevedo compete, and they are very aggressive.
Both
especially
coming
down
out of
there.
the Orlando area. A lot of
Yeah.
seat time next to each other. Both of them started in Zs. Catrone moved about 2 years ago to the vet and had the Z still. I think, Ryan had a seat time Z as well.
Yes.
And so,
Here we go. Christian Catrone, Ryan Acevedo. Christian Catrone in the lead, coming in with that Chevy Corvette, initiated, trying to get into that first outer zone with one tire. There's Ryan Acevedo. A little bit of correction. As Christian Catrone punched that outer zone cone into the wall. Now he's going to outer zone 3. Shallow line, now getting into outer zone 3. There's Ryan Acevedo keeping that proximity.
a great transition by Ryan coming in from that inner clip. Holy cow, wanting to dive in there. Really doing a great job putting pressure that we haven't really been getting to see in this seeding bracket so far. I can tell he is locked in and ready to go. As soon as he saw him, he predicted what he was going to do. He's initiated in that same space that he started with was there. So he didn't let anything get up. Christian didn't run away from him. You know, a little bit slower on the transition here, but like we're what is that when you split hairs? But then Christian does look like he drops a tire. It does set him up to slow down a little bit, rely on Ryan to really just fill in. And Look at this dive right there. Come on. It looked a little bit better in person. When you're looking at it on the drone, it's not as dramatic.
Yeah, it's cool. The one thing I do like with the media guys, when they get those nice angles of that first outer zone, that's like I want to say that was the best pictures I ever see every time in this round.
Oh yeah,
it's just such a cool like
full
angle.
lock, full send.
It's so clean, it's pretty, and it's just crisp every time. But now we have Ryan Acevedo. Looks like he's talking to the track staff as he is getting ready to turn around.
Well, Christian is backwards currently, talking to that track staff like he had said. I don't think he's going to initiate that direction.
Man, if he goes in reverse and then
just shoots around and then goes to, I don't know, probably illegal.
Is it?
I don't know.
You're in the chase.
I mean,
that'll be baller, dude.
my hands up. you guys aren't getting to see us because it's on them, but hands up.
Baller. That would. If he did that, I'll be like, he's on the sim too much.
big initiation guy. Dude, 360 entries are so much fun.
Are they?
They're so much fun.
So, fun fact, I actually talked to Alec about it last round. I've never been in a drift car, ever.
Why?
I guess, one, I enjoy watching it from the outside. Two,
wait, so hold on. You go to all these events, are next to this high level ability. Everybody has a car here.
Yeah.
And you can jump in at any time, and you've not decided to jump in a car.
I decided not to because, especially in the events here, and I even tell the drivers, if you're working on something, like, I'm letting you be. I'm not going to get in there.
Are you going to V2 Labs?
It's
tomorrow.
I don't believe I'll be there, but I'll probably be at Black Friday.
Well, just get in the car.
Okay.
You know what? Here, handshake deal.
Oh, God.
I'm your first ride.
Oh, God. Let's get a GoPro footage of it.
Dude, all day. All day.
I'll yell.
Content.
Florida man takes Jersey boy.
First trip. I'll edit to where it looks like you're wearing a bikini, and it looks like the harness is just covering you. Try to get all the clickbait.
Man, like it's the one thing why I never really sat in a car. It's one, I enjoy looking at it from the outside.
It's way more fun on the inside, brother. Dude, you're gonna have a new appreciation. So when I'm like watching it, I'm coming purely from the driver point of view, and I'm just like, oh, it's so much fun.
It's definitely dope, fun to experience. Everybody's told me about it. John Teppel is like I always give him gags. I send him Pontiac Solstice because I'm a big fan of Ryan Turek. But with these guys out here and getting situated, I'm more. I'm more excited on what's going on with
right
these
now
guys
we're
out here. I was talking
the static shot.
We're trying to figure out what's going on with the drivers here, but like I was saying, Pontiac Solstice, big fan of Ryan Turek back in the day.
Are we watching the road? The judges are watching rodeo right now. This is how you guys spend your time up here? You guys are watching the rodeo?
That's
PRCA. That should be the pro rodeo circuit right there. I'm going to announce this for you guys. So they can't leave before that line. The steer needs to go out. Then they can break the line. That's when the timer starts.
All right. So rodeos wise.
Dude, I grew up in Osceola County, all right? Silver Spurs is the largest rodeo this side of the Mississippi.
I heard of that.
I'm just saying.
I've been to rodeos in Pennsylvania and Kentucky, and I want to go to that. I think it'll be wild. But
can we switch the feed to the rodeo? No. They switched the channel. It's okay. They switched the channel.
And then, so back to what we were saying. Our mechanical
I hope they
rodeo.
changed the channel. I have no idea. Sorry, you guys can't see what we're talking about.
Our mechanical rodeo here is it's drifting. You have Ryan Acevedo just chilling. I believe they're going to put him back in the burnout box so he can warm up the tires. And when these guys are in the burnout box, they're trying to get more grip on that front tire so they could go all the way through.
Yep.
And so when you being in this kind of situation, when you're doing the burnout box.
The bob, as you called it.
Yes. What is what is the feeling you need to feel to know that your front tires are good? Because you can't go out there with a thermostat.
My front tires?
Yeah, on the burnout box.
Well, I'm not doing a whole lot with the front tires. It's
You're
more
not
about
scrubbing the front tires?
like a little bit, but I mean, like almost every competition that I've done, I'm conserving tire.
Oh, are you?
Like I'm very low budget system.
Okay.
So for me, I literally barely do a burnout. I think I'll do it on a brand new set if they're not already gone through a heat cycle. But most of the tires that aren't stickered. They're like I've already done a run on them, like in practice or something like that. So they've already got a heat cycle on them. They're gonna last me a little bit longer.
Okay.
But I mean, I did all of the Black Friday that you were talking about on one set of tires.
Jesus.
And I did no burnouts whatsoever the entire time.
You just straight up.
Well, none of us really are supposed to. There's no burnout box there. Ryan Acevedo going off here.
Here's the buy run.
It became a buy run?
Yep.
You can hear that throttle modulation there. Trying to keep it still going, but not trying to get it completely off.
Oh, man. That was a really nice run. Clean. And Ryan Acevedo out there just straight shredding. Right. The one thing is with Ryan, he's very committed on everything he does when it comes into either drifting or playing guitar. Or
what? We're playing guitar?
Ryan Acevedo plays guitar.
Yeah. He's got a podcast.
And he got pipes. Vocal cords.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pipes.
I was like, yeah, he's got an exhaust system on his car. He does have some pipes.
All right. So we're going to have a quick commercial break while Ryan Acevedo gets new tires, gets situated, and then our final battle is Colette Davis versus Ryan Acevedo.
Avocado.
We'll see you guys in a bit.
There's no better way to test your tires than on the racetrack. That's why at Kenda Tires, we compete with the same tires we sell. And that's how the technology built every Flyday UHP Max tire goes from podium to pavement. Whether you're a professional driver chasing podiums or a grassroots enthusiast looking for weekend excitement, Kenda Tires are designed for your journey.
Link is the engine management solution for champions the world over. We know what it takes to win. Pushing boundaries, performing under pressure, and having the best people on your team. Our tech support our performance specialists, available 24 hours and ready to talk one-on-one about your winning formula. Link ECU, the performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
There's no better way to test your tires than on the racetrack. That's why at Kenda Tires, we compete with the same tires we sell. And that's how the technology built into every Bethesda UHP Max tire goes from podium to pavement. Whether you're a professional driver chasing podiums or a grassroots enthusiast looking for weekend excitement, Kenda Tires are designed for your journey.
Link is the engine management solution for champions the world over. We know what it takes to win, pushing boundaries, performing under pressure, and having the best people on your team. Our tech support are performance specialists, available 24 hours and ready to talk one-on-one about your winning formula. Link ECU, the performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
All right, here we go. We are back for our final battle. We got Ryan Acevedo and Colette Davis. And after this is the final battle, but yet there is more drifting to come. Like I said, hit that subscribe button on the bottom of this video.
Or the
this live
final
stream.
battle of the seeding bracket.
It's the final battle of the seeding bracket. At 3:15, we will have the main top 32 bracket. And we'll see more drivers as well.
More drivers.
And we will crown our possible champion.
Yeah.
Goes across
Well, we
the line.
100% will be giving out champagne
Yes.
and awards
Yes.
today.
So it's going to be a fantastic time, but this is our final battle of our seeding bracket, and you have Ryan Acevedo in the lead, Colette Davis in the chase.
The announcer voice just kicking in.
Yeah.
So, here. Ryan Acevedo in the number 904 car coming on through. Number 77, Colette Davis in the brand new pro car that she has absolutely been ripping it in. Feeling comfy in this car. She has been going into this track deeper and deeper into these zones, being more consistent. Super excited to see these two guys that both have so much seat time. They have overbuilt cars that are both new to them, and they are now here in the 1 and 2 position, battling it out to see who's going to be number 1 in the seating bracket.
And
you have
Colette
bracket.
Davis. You have Colette Davis telling people, watch me whip, and you have Ryan Acevedo say, watch me nay-nay. Here we go.
Black
The
and
first
yellow.
lap.
Black and yellow.
Ryan Acevedo in the lead. Colette Davis in the chase. Ryan Acevedo coming in with a nice initiation. Here's Colette Davis. A little bit too much angle over rotation.
no.
So Ryan Acevedo with that speed. Diving into the underclip. Colette Davis is trying to regain that proximity, but it looks like that over rotation probably zeroed her run. According to the judges, we're going to actually talk to them about that. But Ryan Acevedo, killer lap from him with fresh new tires.
So, absolutely, both of them, new machines to them, coming through. Ryan Acevedo getting set up here, putting it out, starting nice and early with a flick entry here, not just doing a hand grab that we've seen from other drivers, going through Colette, and just, she sits down and just keeps holding that angle. She doesn't lose it, which is impressive, but ultimately just scrubbed all of her speed, not running into Ryan Acevedo. I'm not quite sure if there was a, holding on throttle from Ryan, what really was going through both of their minds in that moment.
So the judges are gonna be looking to see when he.
Oh, the
Ryan
judges now have like a little doohickey up here that they can just rewind with.
They've
Thingamajig doohickey.
Here we go. They're looking at the replay. Oh, I see what they're saying.
I want to see. I want to see it again too.
So the initiation, they're talking about how he initiated, and you'll see like no tire smoke, and then he was back on throttle pretty late into that first outer zone, and Colette Davis was holding it, and that's what forced her into that over rotation.
Yeah.
So we're probably looking at Colette Davis with an advantage, and
I don't know. I don't know if that was enough to say that it was impeding the chase.
that's
Because in reality, we have all been seeing most people float through half of that zone,
yes.
you know, on handbrake and hopes, dreams, and prayers, and then grip. I mean, at a certain point, you got to be able to know what's going on.
Well, we're gonna see.
But let's see if Colette shows, you know, that they can be very consistent and stay on throttle. So here we are. She gets on throttle about the same position, but she's not as deep into the zone.
Oh, falls out of outer zone 2, but dives in the inner clip. Beautiful transition to outer zone 3. But Ryan Acevedo is leading to keep that proximity.
Doing a great job here. Picture perfect right there. Wish we had a little bit more proximity towards the end of it, but like in the middle of that last zone.
It was very floaty, wishy-washy at times, but look at Colette Davis. You were saying she was about the same time where Ryan Acevedo was.
We see a little bit of feint. We see a little bit of setup, handbrake, and float, and then tires turn on. So she did come on a little bit earlier than Ryan did, but Ryan gave the space from the get-go.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't give the space that was there. So are we going to say that it was the lead car's fault for that? But yet we do the exact same thing in our run. How can we really say that that's a lead car issue?
And in seating bracket, there is no one more times. So one more times is usually
which is a good thing because
yeah.
I really don't want one more times in this. This is an extra. Some people don't even like how much time it takes itself. But
like one more times, if you've never seen drifting, one more times is when the judges say it's too close to call because of the mistakes or the runs were too close and they want to see a battle yet again.
Let me ask you this, just because I know it's going to be asked: are they getting any points for seating bracket placements?
So that they don't get points for the placement in the seating bracket. Now they get points in the top 32. So if they drive, well, because it's kind of hard to like explain this compared to like FD because there's more than like 40 drivers. With this, you're basically just setting yourself up for the top 32. So if they get in the seating bracket, they're on power and they go through. They usually get 32 points usually. But we're getting these guys here situated. It looks like Christian Catrona is coming back to the line. He did get third place for the seating bracket. And we are waiting for the judge's decision.
Yep, so we do know that Christian Catrone is in third place for the seating bracket. They're trying to decide between Colette and Ryan Acevedo here.
Yes, they're determining from the runs from the initiation point. So the one thing I'm looking at Colette, she wasn't in the zone compared to Ryan. So Ryan was fully in the zone. Colette was in the first, missing the first outer zone. So I believe the judges are trying to deliberate who was a better lead run to chase. They're tit for tat on this. But after the seating bracket, guys, we are going to be live. I believe they're going to do a live stream for the warm-ups. You're going to see the guys run. But then at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you'll see the top 32 comp. Our final round for Sebring.
We're starting at 3 o'clock?
Yep, 3:15.
Okay.
So we get a 2-hour break.
Hey, let's just go into it right now.
So you also see Bunny. Man, Bunny always comes out here with some wild things. You're going to see him with bunny ears if you're out here at the event with a ball cap. He's such a character. Love it.
For sure.
Now the man, these judges are going in there. And chat, if you're watching and I see you guys talking about it. Who do you guys think will win, Colette or Ryan on this one?
What do we got in here? Oh, you know what's so funny? I just realized that these things have a taper to them. So every time I look down, I'm like, your screen's going black. It's not the screen. It's my glasses. I didn't realize that there was more polarization.
Yeah, they don't get points for the seating bracket. They'll get points for the top 32. And it's mainly because we only have 30 drivers today. But in FD, they usually get some sort of points going into the top 32 bracket.
We've got the camera on all three of them, showing the seating bracket results here. Christian with third place. It's the only thing we're sure on right now, but we are going to be waiting to hear from these judges. Not sure if someone's going to run down there to announce it. I'd be down there, but I'm up here in this booth. I'm not sure.
We're getting some people in chat saying Ryan's going to get the win. Wow. And then I love how chat is interacting with each other, communicating with each other, thinking about it, deliberating. This is a judged motorsport, and everybody has their own opinions, but we do have 3 judges up here that have their opinions, and they're strong about it.
Is there a mic for the speakers? Or
Yes, the red.
The red. So this turns on the speakers?
Yep.
I'm going to test it real quick.
Yep, you're going to crank it up.
Cranking it up.
There
Are we
you
loud?
go. Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah, we hear it. Oh, we see our drivers coming out here. You have the left, which is Christian Catrone, over there getting third place. Yeah, Christian Catrone getting third.
Big round of applause for Christian, everybody. Absolutely killing out there. Waiting on the judges for full deliberation here, waiting for the nod to hear the name that I'm going to call out. Second place in the seating bracket, Ryan Acevedo in the 350Z. Colette getting first place in the seating bracket, getting the win, moving on. Excited to see all 3 of these drivers in the Orlando area. They have absolutely been killing it. If you have not gotten to talk to them at any point, make sure you say hi to them in the pits or come out to one of the local events that they do all throughout the year. We're going to go ahead and take a short break now, get these guys all ready to go, and get right back into the competition. See you guys around, what, 3 o'clock?
3:15. You'll see us back around, and I want to say one thing. Get it, girl! Good job on getting first place, and we'll see you guys back at 3:15 for a top 32 main event.